Daredevil season finale, Daredevil. Definitely a great ending to the first season, and definitely leaves some things that are really cool, that are kind of wide open, that we can look forward to in season two. And really, two of the big things are like the two powerful women in this series. One being Madame Gao, who took off in the last episode, and the second being Vanessa, who accepted Fisk's marriage proposal, and she's I'm assuming this, but she's kind of going to become like the queen of the empire as he remains in jail, and she's going to go back for him at some point, I would assume, during season two, or maybe even it'll be kind of mixed in with some of the other shows that they'll be coming out with. But it was a great season finale. We finally got to see the suit. I'm wondering if it's going to be like just the first iteration of the suit, or if this is going to be the suit permanently, because I'd love to see it where he actually has like the two D's on his chest and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool, because actually, as simple as his costume is, it's literally just like, it's honestly like a big red leather outfit. That's all it is. I actually like that. If for some reason that works, like out of all things that are just one color and just leather or something, I always felt like Daredevil, I feel like that costume always worked for some reason. And I like this one. I think it looks pretty cool. For some reason, I do kind of wish it was more like the original one. I guess the sort of modern design to it, or more realistic design, because it wouldn't, just be like, I made this whole thing and I just, for whatever reason, made it one long suit or whatever like that. I still like it. I think it looks pretty cool. It sucks that he's not going to be like the man in the mask anymore, because I mentioned this before, I actually really like that outfit. I think because it was all black and it had like the tiniest little bit of red. There were like red lines that went all the way up the arm and like came across the chest. And I don't think I noticed those until like the last episode. I didn't realize there was like the tiniest hint of red in there. But I always thought that looked really cool, how the mask covered like the top half of his face and stuff. And it wasn't like, oh, it's just a mask that has, eye holes on it. It like completely covered his face. I just thought that looked really cool, because you don't really see that. So, that it kind of sucks that that's gone now, but it definitely looks really cool. And it's a cool costume. He's using the two sticks and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, he got used to them. He got them from stick. Like, you're gonna need them, and so now he's adapted them and he's made new versions of them and stuff. So it was cool to see the costume. Cool to see him use the sticks together and stuff, and you twist them together and then take them apart and use them and stuff like that. So it was definitely fun to watch. Him and Fisk finally had their last battle, and of course Daredevil won in the end. And it was just a great episode. Like the ending, like the last maybe 20 minutes, like last half of the episode was just really, really great to watch, because they find out that the dirty cop is actually still alive. I can't think of his name, of course, but they find out he's alive. Daredevil goes in, he saves him. He says, turn yourself into this cop, and it was like their friend that they know in the police precinct. And he turns himself in, they get all the info, and then they have like the music playing and just all of these different people getting arrested and stuff. And the last person is Fisk when he gives Vanessa the ring. And then he's taken, and then it's like he has extra SWAT people. One of the guys that's FBI in the truck with him is actually under his payroll, so he kills the other dude. And they escape and all this stuff, and he's transfers trucks, and he's going to Vanessa in the helicopter and all this cool stuff. And then they have like the great fight scene, and it was just really sweet to watch. And of course the first half of this episode was really cool too, and we got to see whether or not Leland was going to survive. And of course he doesn't, because Fisk found out. He knew what happened, and Leland kind of reveals it all to him, like it was never to kill you, it was to take out Vanessa, and that was too much for him. And he had this whole thing like, I'm going to take half your money, me and my son are going to disappear. I have this guy, he has all this information. If I don't report in every 24 hours, then you're going to be screwed. Even if you take me out or whatever, you'll go down. So I thought it was a cool little moment. I thought it was funny when he first went in and he was like, and he revealed all that info to him, and he was like, that's why I'm taking half your money. And the first thing that came to my mind was the same thing Fisk said, and I was just like, does he think he's leaving right now? Like, does he think he just walked into this random dark construction, whatever it was, like a building under construction? It's Fisk plus two of his guards. I was like, does he think he's leaving right now? Is he an idiot right now? So, his plan made sense of why he was so confident and stuff, but he didn't really plan on Fisk just not giving a crap when he's angry, especially when it comes to Vanessa. it doesn't matter. He lets go of all the smarts and all the skills, all that crap, and it's sheer rage. And that's what he demonstrated, and he killed off Leland. So Madame Gao is back home wherever she is. It's not China, apparently. And, Vanessa's now off in the wind wherever she's going to end up being. Fisk is in prison where, that last little scene with him, he's looking at this wall, of course, taking him back to his childhood. And it was just great, like the way all the characters kind of either reconnected, mostly for the good guys, or spread apart for the villains. It was just really well done, and we got to see. Sadly, the beginning of this episode was the funeral for Ben, and it was an interesting scene. It was very well done, and they have it where Karen talks to his wife, and she feels responsible, and his wife tells her, like, you shouldn't feel responsible because Ben was never forced into a story. He always did what he wanted to do, and he died doing what he loved, and that's just how it was. So it was nice to learn that she was taken care of because of a policy, and she mentioned how Ben spoke, very highly of Karen and stuff, and she mentioned, like, if we never had kids, but if we did, he'd probably want a kid like you. So it was a nice little scene, sort of a finality for her character as well. So it was cool to know that she, in future seasons, we don't really have to think back and wonder, like, is she okay and stuff like that. We just kind of have to assume she's at least taken care of, seemingly for the rest of the series. So it was a nice way to kind of round out her character as well, since Ben is no longer in the series. And it was just, I thought it was really well done. Obviously, it still sucks that Ben got killed in the last episode, but it was definitely well done. They all, they worked together. They got Fisk. They got all his people. We found out that it wasn't Ben's boss that was working under Fisk. It was actually his secretary, or at least she seemed like the secretary. I know when Ben went into the office, she was the first person he talked to, so she could have just been one of the other journalists, but he asked her directly, so it kind of made me think she was his secretary. But that was kind of surprising. The guy, when the scene started, I was like, yeah, they're coming for him, and then it turned out to be the woman. It's like, okay, he's not as much of a dick, but I still, he still had some dickish moments that he kind of pulled on Ben, where it was like him not letting him do the story. If he had, it would have been different, because they wouldn't have been like this huge scene and all this extra stuff. So I still kind of blame him, but ultimately it's just like, it's just what he thought would work for his newspaper, and ultimately the woman was working for Fisk. So that's just how it played out. But it was a great season finale. Nice to see. Get to see the costume at the end, and he's gonna go off to do whatever he ends up doing. But we have some really great leads into season 2. We have Stick and his storyline. He was in that one episode, and at the end of that, it was like this whole mysterious war coming up. So we have no idea what's going on there. They established that, but that was all we got this season. We have Madame Gao, who took off to wherever her homeland is, and we have Vanessa, who is now going to be running whatever's left of Fisk's empire. I assume he got a lot of frozen assets at this point, but there's going to be something left over that she can control, and she still has, whoever's under his payroll, she would ultimately take control of them. Otherwise, it would just crumble. So everyone knows that she was, in love with him, and that he was in love with her. So she will certainly take over as far as, what he controls, and I don't know how they're going to play it and how she's going to get back into things and maybe go in and rescue him, or however that plays out. But this is definitely a great season finale. It was a great first season. I think this was definitely a great start to the Street Level Defenders series that they're going to be doing. I think we have 3 other ones coming up. I don't know how they're doing the shows. I don't know if I mentioned this before, I don't know how they're playing them out. Like, if it's going to be, Daredevil season 1, and then Luke Cage season 1 at the same time as Daredevil season 2, maybe, or stuff like that. I don't know. But I'm definitely excited for, everything they have coming down the line. This was definitely a great first start to this huge, Netflix conjunction that they're doing with Marvel and stuff. It was definitely great. It's cool to see. I think one of the best things about this show is the fact that it's Marvel, and we finally get to see some very serious blood and guts, and people just getting destroyed and really beat up, even if it's very serious in this, and it's not like some crazy stuff that happens in the Marvel universe. People just get like blown up by superpowers. It's very visceral. People use actual swear words. They so they drop F-bomb. Well, they may not have done that in the series, but they cuss a lot throughout the season. So we see that, we see a ton of blood and stuff, and this would be like a rated R type thing if it was a movie or something like that. So it was definitely well done. I'm definitely excited to see where they take things for the other series. Hopefully they don't get really, really light, because for some of these characters, that is how they're played. That's how they're written. And like with Daredevil, that is how it is. And that's like the little bit of info that I have. I do at least know Daredevil is like very, gritty when it comes to certain things. So I'm excited for that. I don't know what they're going to be doing for season 2, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this season finale, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and of course, I want to know what you guys thought about the season finale, the season in general, what you're excited for with like maybe Luke Cage, or season 2, like what you guys really want to see, if you want to see some other Daredevil characters come in, or what storylines you really want to see that may have been introduced, like the stuff with Stick. Because he's working with ninjas, I of course want to see that more than anything else, because it's ninjas, so that's what I want to see. But I want to know what you guys want to see for season 2, and like I said, what you thought about this season. Characters that survived, characters that we lost, which were a lot. Action, even like anything you guys want to talk about, please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.